I'm Justin Loretz and I'm going to show you how to fit a chain and shorten it so that it fits a 1x drive system. Today we're using a Shimano 1140 rear cassette and an Absolute Black oval 34 tooth chainring. The first thing to do is to carefully wrap the chain around the largest rear sprocket. In this case it's the 40, and around the front sprocket, observing the narrow wide teeth, and we omit the rear derailleur at this point because we're going to add 4 links when we get to this point here. So we join the chain, we touch the 2 links together, and we count 1, 2, 3, 4 links below the join, which is there. And if we split the chain there and then thread it through the rear derailleur and join it with a master link, we will have the correct length chain, which we'll do now. Okay, we've placed the link that we've identified as the point in which we need to break the chain into the chain tool, observing all the links are nice and sitting tidily in the tool. We then start to wind the handle to draw the pin into the chain, and we'll feel the tension come on. We ensure that it's well centered on the pin, and then we start to apply pressure to the thing. Then start to turn the handles. It'll feel quite stiff to begin with, and then you'll feel it go, and as you can see there, you're starting to drive the pin through the chain, and we're going to drive it all the way through 4 or 5 turns, and then you'll feel it pop out the other side. At that point you can back the pin pusher out, you can remove the chain, the pin will fall out, and you can slide the 2 links apart. So we've now split the chain. Under normal circumstances, if you were going to use a Shimano joining pin, you would insert the male into the female end and put the pin in and drive it home and snap the end off, and your chain would be joined. In this case, we're not going to use the pin, we're going to use a master link, and that means that we have to remove the rest of this female link by splitting the chain again at this point here, which we'll do now. Place the link to be split into the chain tool, ensure that it's fully down, wind the handle into the tool, make sure that the pin is squarely on the link, start to drive the pin. Again, it will push, make a nice pop. We'll push it out, you can see the pin coming out, you can see the 2 female sides of the link falling away. Back the pin out, we'll lose all the bits we don't want, and that will leave us with 2 male ends, and they will be joined with the master link, which is essentially 2 female ends with attached pins, and they will slide together and then lock backwards, and we'll show you how to fit that in a moment. But first we must thread the chain through the rear derailleur. The next step is to remove the clutch from the rear derailleur, because otherwise you won't be able to move the arm forward. Next we take the chain from the largest rear sprocket to the smallest rear sprocket, and we then very carefully thread the chain around the underside of the cassette sprocket, around the top of the derailleur, there's a bit of fiddle sometimes because you put the chain through the derailleur underneath the top sprocket and down behind the rear of the lower jockey wheel, and that's, as you can see, the derailleur correctly threaded. Bring both ends together. Okay, you can see the little end of the pin here and there, and then you bring them together in the like so, and you can see how they fit together, and then you've got this slot here, and that will basically lock them together. Sometimes that's a little bit stiff. This one's nice and easy. You have to give them a bit of a tug. Sometimes you need to put the chain back on the chain ring, like so, and with the wheel on the ground, give the crank a little push forward, and that can sometimes just be enough to pull them tight. But that is your chain fitted and shortened to the correct length. It's working nicely through the gears. We're good to go.